Good evening, everyone. I'm very grateful for this opportunity I have to talk about a project I've worked on. Personally, one of the things I had in mind when choosing this project was in order to perhaps contribute and make things easier using technology. So that's the idea of this project, which I call it a flight assistant chatbot. So thank you as I walk you through and as you get to follow me along. So the most important thing I looked at when developing this project was for it to provide information and details, especially local and international routes along with their prices. Because most times people will want to travel, people will want to use flight, but they perhaps them not having the knowledge of the prices will kind of scare them away. So for this purpose, I thought it wise to get something that then people will just have to look at it. As they look at it, then once they get the prices, they will know what to do if they are to use that route or not. So, and what this project will actually solve, it solved three important things. And the last one, which is actually, because of time, I will not go into details in talking about most of them because the demo will do more of that, more of the speaking for me. The third one is the aspect in which it notifies or when the user put in a query, it be able to come up with a relevant document that perhaps gives the user an answer relating to the query that the person has been asked. Now, this project was getting data was actually very tough for this project because most of the site what they needed for me to do was to pay for an API that will actually give me access to most of those documents, like relevant customer documents, such as the customer details and user details rather. So one of the things I did and I employed was to come up with an evaluation that helped me use a very model. The model I used was actually GPT-4 Mini. Um, this model actually helped me now for me to be able to dissect into this project in depthly, providing those query. And then when I got it, all I did was to convert it to a PDF and then fed it to Llama Index that uh, retrieves the user query and then give relevant information based on that query. So I did most of the things I did was to in my evaluation process was more of eyeballing to make sure because I had to look at so many documents for me to know if the user puts in this query, would the response that is coming in, is it something that is relevant? Is it something that gives a user great information? And if it's not, then what can I do for me to improve the answer that the user, or sorry, the response that the user is going to get that will be able to optimize that person more or educate the person more. So these are some of the evaluation methods and things I did. And unfortunately, and part of the things that actually did not work, I'm still researching on that, which I'll still make sure to fix that, was my render deployment. When I deployed it on render, I realized that it kept failing. So it's something I'm looking forward to getting it fixed. But for now, I'm going to use the local host for the demo just to show us uh, uh, what it actually does. So this is actually a demo session. This thing is almost running, and these are some sample questions that I was able to come up with, and I will simply go ahead to ask some of those questions. And this is a question I asked about what are the prices of flights from Abuja, Lagos to Abuja, and it gave me quite interesting answer in such a way that the user now has an idea on different airlines. You see, these are some of the few airlines, and the user will now have to pick from this which of these airline is cheapest and safest for him or her to use. And also it gives the person, it enables the user for the user to be able to know if it is a one-way ticket or if it is a two-way ticket, depending on the query the user is interested to ask. So I'll just go ahead and ask a follow-up question in a sense that getting a flight also, some user will actually want to know how long the flight takes. So as you get it down, for instance, I'll just go ahead and ask how long will the flight from Lagos to Abuja? This is actually not a great question though, but for the sake of the demo, I'll just hit the enter button and it's going to come up with a query, relevant information, and you can see that the average flight from Lagos to Abuja actually takes 1 hour 15 minutes, and it gives further details of and notifying the user that it depends on the route in which the the person is taking. In a sense that route A and route B might not actually be the same. So that is just it. And for the last question, I will just go ahead and ask what are available flights in Nigeria to Kuwait? No, Kuwait. Oh, I got an error. Kuwait is actually for the sake of international flights. I will just go ahead and ask what are the available flights from Nigeria, which is my home base, to Kuwait, which is a country I would love to visit someday, along with the flight class. Like I said, this is not actually a great question. So this question is supposed to should be able to give the user relevant information and outline the prices of flight from, for instance, it was able to find just a single about 3 routes or so. This one from Lagos to Kuwait, and these are the prices depending on the one that is affordable for you to go. Is it economy class, one-way or two-way tickets? So you get all the prices here. And I'll go ahead and ask a follow-up question like how many hours will it last? So the system will now be able to tell me from the previous ones, and from there it has been able to showcase that, oh, the flight from Lagos to so place, for instance, like this one, estimated hour is about 17 hours, and whereas from Lagos to Kuwait City using Dubai route, this one is Dubai route, the estimated hour is about 30 hours 20 minutes. So it gives you the different routes and suggests to you what are some of those things at the route that is easier and simple. So I'll just go ahead and stop from here. That's for the demo. And then I had challenges, no doubt, while working on this project. And normally challenges is part of learning process and overcoming them. And because of those challenges, I've been able to map out some relevant future plans that I intend to work, because I will not just abandon it like that. It's a project that I'm very interested in and I want to expand it. So these are some of the three key future plans that I have for it, which is to improve it for more international destinations, not only Kuwait. Not that the chatbot only captures Kuwait, though. I want it to get more of the Asian continents, for more of the Asian continents, and more of South America and stuff like that. And also, in order for me to do that, I will integrate more means, which is get more data of transportation. For example, not just only flight, I intend to collaborated into maybe road transportation network using cars and bikes and other means of transportation. And also, I remember working with Sutherland, I've been able to learn from him the essence of adding more sources and reference. So in any query the user asks, I want it to also come up with more sources and more reference and so forth. So thank you, and I'm happy to be here and to have the opportunity to work with Sutherland and also to help me for me to be able to achieve this milestone. And I look forward to improving it more and getting it more better to a standard one that I wish to have. Thank you. I don't know if there is any question.